Honest to God, I just don't like LinkedIn. I don't even know why I'm paying the premium money, which is like $78 a month, I think, because I never look to see who's following me, or who looked at your profile, which I think is like the biggest thing about LinkedIn Premium. I mean, you get other benefits, like I said, the images that you can put up top. But one of the biggest benefits is seeing who looked at your profile, except now, like, you can set your privacy to private. And then all you see when you click on to see who looked at your profile is just an anonymous LinkedIn member. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another video. Thank you so much for being here today. If you like what you're seeing, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate that. But today, I have a client call in like 10 minutes, but today I want to talk to you about LinkedIn. I was scrolling LinkedIn, which I don't do that often, and I do have a video which I'll link up here talking about LinkedIn Premium. I do have the Premium LinkedIn, and I created you can have like 4 images in the carousel in your profile. And I used Adobe Firefly and Claude for coming up with what those images should say, how to promote me, and then I used Firefly to actually generate the images. It was a lot of fun, actually. So I created a video just to show you guys how to do it. You kind of have to have some advanced AI. I don't start from like the very basics. I assume you kind of know what you're doing. But yeah, so today I was like scrolling through LinkedIn, and honest to God, I just don't like LinkedIn. I don't even know why I'm paying the premium money, which is like $78 a month, I think, because I never look to see who's following me, or who looked at your profile, which I think is like the biggest thing about LinkedIn Premium. I mean, you get other benefits, like I said, the images that you can put up top. But one of the biggest benefits is seeing who looked at your profile, except now, like, you can set your privacy to private. And then all you see when you click on to see who looked at your profile is just an anonymous LinkedIn member. Like, okay, granted, you have to have LinkedIn Premium to even set your profile to private when you browse other people's profiles, but yeah, so like the biggest benefit I think to having LinkedIn, maybe now the biggest benefit to having LinkedIn Premium is that you can be private when browsing other people's stuff. So it's not even so much you seeing, it's whatever. Anyway, most of it's crap when I look through LinkedIn. I mean, most of what people post is just pure crap. Like, I could give 2 shits about what people post on LinkedIn. And that's the problem I have with it, because everyone's like, oh my God, you got to post, you got to talk about your business, you got to do this, that, or another thing. And every time I want to post something on LinkedIn, I start writing something and then I completely stop. Like, I delete it because I'm like, nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's kind of like this YouTube channel. Like, I think I have 3 subscribers. Nobody's caring what I'm doing. I'm really doing this for myself. But on LinkedIn, I just think it's even more obvious that nobody gives 2 shits. And one of the things I wanted to post was actually things that I'm stopped caring about. And I think this is thanks to my post-menopausal, or pre-menopausal, perimenopausal, I should say, road I'm on, where you kind of just stop caring about what people think about stuff. It's really a fantastic place to be in, because I care about what people think way too much, and it's really annoying. But I'll just give you an example. I was added to a group chat of women in the outdoor space. I wasn't asked to be added to that group chat. I didn't request to be in this group chat, but I know the person who started the chat, and of course I know a lot of people that are in the chat. Like, I've been in the outdoor industry for 25 years. You know, you all kind of know who each other are. And it was kind of fun at first and kind of cute, but then she would people would post stuff, and then because there's like 20 people in this stupid chat, I mean, half of them would respond to a text, and all of a sudden you're getting like 20 texts in this chat. I'm like, holy shit, stop. So I let that go on for like 3 years. And just recently, I know that the person who started the chat is going to see this. I don't think anybody else, maybe other people will see it. I don't know, literally don't care. But it stopped me because I knew people would see that I left the chat, right? You can click on, I have Apple, you can click on the 3 dots, and you can click on leave chat. And I'm pretty sure that the person who started the chat is going to get a notice, and it's probably going to say like, Michelle left the chat or something, or my phone number if they don't have me in their address book. And that stopped me from leaving that chat for 3 years, knowing that people would see that I left the chat. Like if I could just leave the chat anonymously, if I could just be like, right? And like no one saw a thing, then I would have done it a long time ago. But because I knew people were going to see it, I didn't do it. And finally the other day, like this, you guys, this is a big win for me. Like finally the other day, I left the chat. The other thing I started doing was I just removed myself as an admin. I was an admin on a former client's LinkedIn. And normally that doesn't bother me. Like I usually tell my clients to just leave me as an admin on their Instagrams or Facebook because anything can happen. You know, the person that they hired to do their social media after me could leave or try to do something like, trust me, it's all been done. Like it's all happened. And having someone that's like a friendly, like me, like, hey, Michelle, can you go in there and access X, Y, or Z? Like, absolutely. I'll help you out, girl. I got you. But on LinkedIn, it's a little bit different. It's just not as awful as Meta is. And so I'm like, why am I still and I was going to email like the assistant person and be like, hey, why don't you go ahead and remove me as admin? And I'm like, I can just do this myself. So yeah, I went ahead. I removed myself as an admin. I took it a one step further. I went to the company page and I unfollowed them. I unfollowed a former client's LinkedIn page, which I don't know if they're going to see that or not. Again, I don't care. I don't want to see their stuff in my feed. They're no longer a client. Like every time I would see them in my feed, it'd be a reminder of like, oh yeah, they're not my client anymore. You know? And it wasn't like it was a bad parting of the ways or anything. Like the project just ran its course. It is what it is. Like that usually what happens with most of my clients. But before I would have been like, oh no, you got to keep following them. You don't have to keep following them. So that's the other thing about LinkedIn. So I was going to write a post about like things that I'm doing in 2026 or things I'm no longer doing in 2026. And that's really caring what people think. If I think it's in my best interest to remove myself from a group chat, to unfollow a former client's LinkedIn or unfollow that former client, that's okay too. Like I don't have to be connected with them anymore. They know how to reach out to me. They still have my email. They still have my phone number. They can still reach out to me. This might be a hot take. You might have things to say about this, but sometimes when you lose a client or, you know, there's a parting of ways, sometimes it's in your best interest to just remove anything that has to do with that client or that work or whatever, just because it's just clogging up your brain. Like all of a sudden now I'm starting to think about that client and like, oh, I wonder how they're doing. And then maybe I went down a rabbit hole to see who they're working with and what they're doing, which does not serve me at all. So I was going to write that on LinkedIn. And then I thought, no one cares. I'm not going to write this on LinkedIn. So I thought I'd create a YouTube video where it's going to get like 10 views and still nobody's going to care. But maybe you guys might care more. I don't know. And I feel like I can explain myself here on YouTube better than I can explain myself on LinkedIn. I feel like LinkedIn is so judgy. I don't know, maybe because I'm the one that's judging on LinkedIn. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like everything on LinkedIn, I just don't care. And I see what people are posting and I don't know. I don't know. My friends and I call it bro-itry, B-R-O-itry. So instead of poetry, it's bro-itry. And it's the style of LinkedIn writing where it's like one line, space, one line, space. And I know some guys in the outdoor industry who did it real nice, really perfected that bro-itry. And oh boy, they were getting so many comments and so many people writing back and like, you know, back and forth and like, this is a hot take and like, for what? For what? What's the end result? I don't know. So, and maybe I don't understand LinkedIn and the LinkedIn algorithm as much as I understand Meta and that algorithm. I don't know, but that's what I'm not doing anymore in 2026. Is caring what people think. You know, it's really easy to say that you don't care what people think. And it's really hard to execute it when push comes to shove. I am probably a people pleaser. I am probably, I really do care. I do care what people think, right? So it's really easy for me to be all like, ha ha ha, and funny. But when push comes to shove, of course, we care what people think. And I think as a woman, we might care what people think even more than if we were men. So I don't know, we just have more of that empathy inside of us. So I don't know. But that's my story for today about LinkedIn. Why I never post on LinkedIn. Why am I paying $80 a month for LinkedIn Premium when I don't even use it really? I don't know. These are mysteries that maybe we'll figure out as time goes on. It's hard to say. Maybe we won't. Like and subscribe. Bye.